The Flat Earth Society did not appear 2,000 years ago, as one might think, but simultaneously with the development of cosmonautics in 1956. Its founder Samuel Shelton called the scientific evidence for the spherical shape of the Earth dogmatic. He believed that there was insufficient evidence for such conclusions. When he was shown pictures of the Earth from space, he expectedly called them a fake, and declared all those who did not agree with his views participants in the conspiracy. But theories that the Earth is flat have appeared since ancient times. The concept of a flat Earth was present in the cosmogonic mythology of many ancient peoples, in particular, the ancient Egyptians, Babylonians, early Hinduism, Buddhism, and others. In early Egyptian and Mesopotamian thought, the world was depicted as a disk floating in the ocean. A similar model is found in the Homeric narrative of the 8th century BC, in which Oceanus, the personified body of water surrounding the round surface of the earth, is the ancestor of all life and possibly of all the gods. The pyramid texts and the coffin texts of ancient Egypt show a similar cosmography. The Nun, ocean surrounded the Nibiwit, dry lands or islands. The Israelites also imagined the earth as a disk floating on water, above which rises a vaulted vault separating the earth from heaven. The sky was a solid dome in which the sun, moon, planets and stars were embedded. In ancient Greece, several pre-Socratic philosophers believed that the world was flat. For example, Thales. He thought that the earth floats in the water like a log. Anaximenes of Miletus believed that the earth is flat and moves through the air, in the same way the sun, moon and other celestial bodies, which are all fiery, move through the air because of their flat surface. Xenophanes of Colophon believed that the earth is flat. Its upper side touches the air, and the lower one extends indefinitely. The belief in a flat earth continued until the 5th century BC, until the new Greek scientists proved the opposite. The ancient Scandinavian and Germanic peoples believed in the cosmography of a flat earth surrounded by an ocean, with a world tree, Yggdrasil in the center. A snake named Jormungandr lived in the ocean surrounding the world. The Norwegian account of the creation of the world, preserved in Gelfaginning, says that at the time of the creation of the earth, an impassable sea was located around it, and Jafar said, of the blood, which ran and welled forth freely out of his wounds. They made the sea, when they had formed and made firm the earth together, and laid the sea in a ring round about her. And it may well seem a hard thing to most men to cross over it. In ancient China, the belief prevailed that the earth was flat and square, while the heavens were round. And this assumption was practically not questioned until the advent of European astronomy in the 17th century. The English ethnologist Cullen emphasizes that in ancient Chinese astronomy, there was no concept of a round earth. Chinese thought on the form of the earth remained almost unchanged from early times until the first contacts with modern science through the medium of Jesuit missionaries in the 17th century. While the heavens were variously described as being like an umbrella covering the earth, the Kitian theory, or like a substance while the heavenly bodies float freely, the Shunya theory, the earth was at all times flat, although perhaps bulging up slightly. The egg model was often used by Chinese astronomers such as Zhang Heng to describe the heavens as spherical. The heavens are like a hen's egg and as round as a crossbow bullet. The earth is like the yolk of the egg and lies in the center. This analogy with a curved egg has led some modern historians, in particular Joseph Needham, to suggest that Chinese astronomers, after all, knew about the sphericity of the earth. The reference to the egg, however, was rather intended to clarify the relative position of the flat earth in relation to the heavens. In a passage of Zhang Heng's cosmogony translated by Needham, Zhang himself says, "Heaven takes its body from the yang, so it is round and in motion. Earth takes its body from the yin, so it is flat and quiescent." The point of the egg analogy is simply to stress that the earth is completely enclosed by heaven. rather than merely covered from above as the Kaition describes. Chinese astronomers, many of them brilliant men by any standards, continued to think in flat Earth terms until the 17th century. This surprising fact might be the starting point for a re-examination of the apparent facility with which the idea of a spherical Earth found acceptance in 5th century BC Greece. In ancient India, Vedic texts describe the cosmos in different ways. One of the earliest Indian cosmological texts depicts the Earth as one of many flat disks. By about the 5th century AD, the Siddhanta astronomical texts of South Asia, especially the Aryabhats, suggest a spherical Earth, as they develop mathematical methods of quantitative astronomy for keeping a calendar and time. Medieval Indian texts called Puranas describe the Earth as a flat circular disk with concentric oceans and continents. This general pattern is present not only in Hindu cosmologies, but also in Buddhist and Jain cosmologies of South Asia. In the early period of the Christian Church, the spherical point of view was still widespread, with some notable exceptions. Athenagoras, an Eastern Christian writer around 175 AD, said that the Earth has a spherical shape. They also thought that the heavens rotated according to the motion of the heavenly bodies. For this reason, they built copper globes, as if repeating the figure of the universe. Arnabius, another Eastern Christian writer, who wrote around 35 AD, described the round Earth. First, indeed, the world itself is neither right nor left. It has neither upper nor lower regions, neither interior nor posterior. For everything that is round and bounded on all sides by the circumference of a solid sphere has neither beginning nor end. The Abbasid Caliphate experienced a great flourishing of astronomy and mathematics in the 9th century AD. Muslim scholars of the past believed in a spherical Earth. The Quran mentions that the Earth, al-Ard, was spread out before the introduction of Greek cosmology into the Islamic world. Early Muslims also tended to view the Earth as flat, and Muslim traditionalists who rejected Greek philosophy continued to hold this view later, while various theologians held different opinions. From the 10th century onwards, some Muslim traditionalists began to accept the idea of a spherical Earth. For example, regarding the Quranic statements about the spread of the Earth. The 12th century commentary Tafsir al-Kabir states, "If it is said, do the words and the earth that we have spread indicate that it is flat?" We would answer, yes, because the earth, although it is round, is a huge sphere, and every small part of this huge sphere, when you look at it, seems flat. Since this is the case, it will dispel what they mentioned about the confusion. The proof of this is the verse in which Allah says, "And the mountains are like pegs." He called them pegs, although these mountains may have large flat surfaces. And the same is true in this case. In the 11th century, Ibn Hazm claimed that the evidence shows that the earth is a sphere, but public people say the opposite. He added, "None of those who deserve to be imams for Muslims denied that the earth is round, and we haven't received anything that indicates denial, not even a single word." Despite the fact that the sphericity of the Earth is experimentally proven and generally accepted, as well as the fact that its shape allows the development of astronautics, satellite telecommunication systems, meteorology, positioning systems, meteorological and astrophysical observations, etc. There is a Flat Earth Society that aims to prove that the Earth is flat. According to his supporters, all the governments of the Earth have concluded a worldwide conspiracy to deceive people.